Hi, everyone, and welcome back. And with me, Supervisor Richard Forster.
Hi, Tom.
How are you doing?
Okay.
Okay.
As we were talking about, it looks like a lot of agenda, but this is one item related to the Community Development Block Grant Program, and it's all government forms that have to be relooked at and reauthorized by the board.
Why don't we explain the Community Block Grant Program for a moment?
It is a program that it's almost like it's a grant program that where government funds come in, and the funds can be used for a number of different things. The part that they want us to redo is an area where funds come back in through unused funds, come back into the program, and they're available for reuse. Well, we haven't even had that section of the program apply to Amador County, but we still have to go back and review the documents and re-sign them. It's a program income and reuse plan, and really doesn't apply to us because we haven't had those kind of funds come back in. Who knows, maybe in the future. Does that mean
like if you don't use all the funds in that grant program, then they'll come back in, and so you already have a balance when you start the next year?
That's right. It's for people that drop out of the program for one reason or another, that they were planning on using the money and they didn't use it, so there's self-funding sitting there where you're allowed to reuse that money. And as I said, it doesn't apply to us. The more important thing in the document that does apply to us, and Terry Cox will be doing the consulting on this as she has done on the CDBG program for a long time, but there are 4 areas that do apply to us in their actual use of funds from the program. One of those is on new houses, people taking out to buy new houses, people taking money out to do construction on their house, and then there's a couple of other areas. One of them is for new businesses that people want to get into. Actually, it's new or existing businesses where people want to get money to utilize from this program.
So is the government becoming a bank in a way?
Oh, government's always been a bank. That's probably why we're in the shape we're in. But they think...
So you're an interest?
Well, they think things like this are good because it does provide work for some people out there in the economy. Let's say the housing rehabilitation account. It does bring in people to work on the house. There's the home ownership assistance account. That's for home buying. And then the business assistance revolving loan account, and then the micro enterprise assistance revolving loan account. So 4 different areas on that program that people can get assistance with their home, either buying or redoing their home, and assistance with businesses. The other thing you need to remember is to get this assistance, you need to be 90% below the threshold level of median income in Amador County. So that might put a lot of people out of the situation right there. The other thing is these loans are a little bit higher risk than normal because you're loaning to people who already are below the median income level, that 90% of that median income level. So it's something we do because the money is out there. If you don't utilize the money, you lose it. I don't like to operate like that, but it does give some people in the county advantages. Some people that otherwise might not get out of the hole, might not start a business. Okay. And Terry Cox from Cox Consulting, she could give more information on this. She is an expert on it, and she better be because this is all the red tape that we have to look at.
What's our track record? Good with that program?
Okay. Well, track record is good because we have somebody like Terry who's very good at administering the grant programs.
Okay, that's where the rubber meets the road, I think, in that.
That's right.
Okay. Richard, we're going to take a break and we'll come back with the next item, okay? Stay with us right here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Supervisor Richard Forster, what's next on the agenda?
First up on the agenda, we reported on the last item. That'll be a public hearing at 10:30. But first up, we have Shelley Hansen coming in from ATCA, Amador Tuolumne Community Action Agency, and is going to be giving a report on her activities from last year, which we require anytime we give county funds to an organization. And ATCA does a lot of good things in the county and helps out. So she'll be giving a report. The elected officials have asked the county to do a salary survey, and this is the Board of Supervisors are not included in that group of electeds that are asking for this. This is the sheriff, the auditor, the assessor, the elected, the clerk recorder,
Right.
and treasurer tax collector, and district attorneys in there. So there's 6 positions that are asking for the salary survey to be done. In talking to Sheriff Ryan over the internet, he indicated that there is no intent to ask for a pay raise at this time. The intent is just to find out where they are in relation to other elected positions within a like-size type county. So I think we usually use 6 counties in that survey, 5 or 6. Nevada County on the big, well, they're a little bit bigger than us, but Mariposa, Calaveras, Tuolumne are usually in that group of counties.
Okay.
Next up, we'll have a report from Senator Louis Boitano on the California State Association of Counties Board of Directors meeting. And I don't have any more backup on that. I was at that meeting with him, and he will report on the activities. But one issue that will come out of that meeting and was discussed at CSAC is the County Medical Services Program, and in the bigger light, the Obamacare, or the Affordable Health Care Act, Affordable Care Act, ACA as they now refer to it.
Okay.
That was discussed, and the state has come out with a proposal that they were looking at how do we want to administer the Affordable Care Act, and they've come out with 2 ways now. There's the state option or the county option. And obviously, the state has come out and said, we want the county option because that's going to be cheaper. And you know what? This is the first time I've seen counties get some backbone and say, wait a minute, we don't know it's going to be cheaper. And CMSP, the County Medical Services Program, is a board I sit on with 35 rural counties that administer their program through the state. Now they want to throw all of this to every county. This is going to affect every county in the state. And at the CSAC meeting, I saw Greg Cox, supervisor, longtime supervisor from San Diego County, actually say, how is it going to be cheaper for 58 counties to administer this program 58 times versus the state administering it at one time?
So a lot of duplication of effort?
That's what it looks like. And what the state is saying is, there's monies out there in pots. In 1991, a healthcare realignment was constructed. There are guarantees that the counties are going to get so much money to implement this new healthcare, and this is on the county side, the Medi-Cal coverage to low-income indigent people. I think the reason counties are balking is because of AB 109 in the prison system, what that's done. The governor and the state said, you guys can do it cheaper. That didn't turn out that way, and it's not cheaper for us, not cheaper for any county out there. It's a big headache for counties is what it is, and now the governor is saying, and his staff are saying, you can do health care cheaper.
Will the different counties be able, as they're administrating it, be able to have differences in how it works?
There are differences out there, but the reason they're saying counties can administer it cheaper is because they're expecting about 160,000 more Medi-Cal patients to be on the county's rolls. Because of that, counties get more money from the federal government through Obamacare or the Affordable Health Care Act. They'll get more money. So the state says you're going to have more money, so we can take more of that realignment health care money back.
Well, that money, from what I understand, is only guaranteed for 3 years.
And that's the key, too. Lee Kemper, who was the former director of CMSP, and now he's a consultant for us, has said, and he said this in testimony to the State Health Care Committee, is why the big rush to do this. You have 3 years where the federal government is guaranteeing you revenues. Let's see how the program plays out before the state just comes in and assumes that counties are going to have a whole bunch of money come in because of the Federal Health Care Act that's been put in place. So
if you don't have enough monies to handle it, where will you get money?
That's the problem, Tom, and that's what counties are really worried about, is the governor and the staff want to come in right now and pull money back. And you know, we already went through this with AB 109. We don't need to rush on this. We have 3 years of guaranteed income. So why do we need to not get a test case of a year or two, and then find out, and Mr. Kemper said that in his testimony, just give us a couple of years so that we can guarantee that we're not going to be put into a hole because of this program. The state keep running this program. Let's find out if there's excess revenue out there before you just come in and say we're going to take money back without having a test scenario.
Well, I'm glad you have, some information on it. I've been trying to look for information, and it doesn't seem to. I'm not sure how all this stuff is supposed to fold together and everything, Richard.
Well, the CMSP Executive Board adopted principles that Mr. Kemper took to the state, and the Assembly and Senate were looking for input from counties. And part of that is that the principles that we adopted is we want to make sure that the level of service stays the same. We want to minimize programmatic, financial, and legal risk to counties. And we want to seek to expand provider participation.
Will the Medi-Cal participants, are they still going to have Medi-Cal, or are they going to forward in? Are they going to be on the Obamacare?
It depends.
I don't understand how that's going to work.
It's all money that's coming in from the feds on this, but it depends on which plan they're in. There's a list of about 14 counties that are going with a partnership health plan, which is somewhat of a self-guided plan. There's a tri-county regional plan that Kings and Madera are doing. Under the rural expansion, Anthem Blue Cross or California Health and Wellness, we're associated with Anthem here and also Kaiser and Sacramento, but Anthem will be associated with us with this plan.
So I guess in a way, you don't have much time, but will Medi-Cal people or people below that threshold, does that mean they don't get fined? They won't be on in the Obamacare program? They're in a different program, or are we getting rid of Medi-Cal as we know it? Or
no, I think you're still going to have it listed as Medi-Cal. It's just that the federal dollars will come in and go to the entities to administer. They're talking about, the state is talking about a whole new way to run the medical service in the state, of having a company chosen to administer this and tie all the plans together, tie the hospital and the retirement home and the convalescent hospitals all together. The problem is they don't know how to get through that with the HIPAA or the privacy laws that are in place. So they have to solve some of those puzzles.
It sounds like such a complex, for something that was supposed to be, seemingly to me, sold as being super simple, seems to be highly complex.
It is very complicated. Counties are guaranteed a pot of money through the healthcare realignment from 1991, though. If the governor just comes in and says, we're going to take that pot of money, and all you have to have is one county balk and say, no, you're not going to take that money, we're going to litigate this, then there's a poison pill involved, too, that destroys every program out there. So it could be a big mess if the state just comes in and tries to grab the money.
It sounds like local government has a little control over what's going to happen here.
Well, we're guaranteed that money, and constitutionally guaranteed that money.
Okay. We heard it. I'm not sure what we heard, but that sounds interesting. So stay with us. There's more news on the other side of the break.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.